Look at the faces of the world's best athletes. You see fury. You see desperation. You see the fire of the fight. But then you look at Jannik Sinner, and you see nothing. While others crack under the pressure, Sinner doesn't even blink. Just a cold, terrifying neutrality. It breaks most players, even the smartest tacticians. But with Jannik, pressure evaporates. This is why you have it all wrong about Jannik Sinner. One of the most fundamental misconceptions is that this Italian doesn't care. Commentators mistake his calm for coldness, his lack of reaction for lack of passion, and assume that because the surface of the water is still, the ocean isn't deep. But make no mistake, this man is no robot. He is not devoid of feeling. He is just the epitome of stoicism. Inside, the adrenaline is pumping, and the desire to win is hotter than a June day in Rome. But make no mistake, Jannik Sinner is not a robot. He is not devoid of feeling. What makes him different is his mastery of emotional conversion. While other players, Nadal, Federer, and Alcaraz, take their fear, excitement, and anger to fuel the fire, Sinner takes the same energy and swallows it. He compresses it. But Sinner has mastered the art of emotional conversion. Psychologically, this is known as high-functioning emotional neutrality. If he misses a shot, he doesn't smash his racket. He doesn't curse the sky and ask why, because the sky doesn't care. This is what makes him different. He understands one brutal truth that most athletes spend decades figuring out. Emotional outbursts are a leakage of energy, and each time you scream, you bleed power. Sinner keeps his silence, and in that silence, he sharpens his blade. Watch what happens immediately after he loses a devastating point. An unforced error on set point. For 99% of the tour, the next 10 seconds are spent living in the past. They are replaying the mistake. They are carrying the ghost of that error into the next rally. For Sinner, it's already forgotten. The past point no longer exists. He has perfected the art of having a short memory. This isn't just a cliche. It's a neurological discipline. He uses physical triggers, the towel, the walk to the back of the court, to physically wipe the slate clean. It is a hard reset. In simple terms, he doesn't carry emotional baggage. He travels light. And that ability to treat each game as a series of independent events instead of a continuous story means that each point is 0-0. He doesn't play the score. He plays the ball. And the ball doesn't know what happened 10 seconds ago. But it is his resolve in those pressure moments that makes us love him. The true test of mindset isn't when everything is calm. It is when the walls close in. That moment when data becomes scary and you feel all alone on the court. It is the moment most players break. They make mistakes. The footwork gets tentative and the fear of losing overrides the desire to win. That's when Jannik Sinner excels. Instead of lowering down, his ball speed increases. His targets get deeper. And all this happens because his lack of emotional clutter gives him clarity. In those tiebreaker moments, the panic alarm fades, the time slows down, and the court becomes clearer. While others focus on consequences, Sinner commits. He thinks about the physics, the spin, the speed, the angle. And while others drown in the drama, hesitating, Sinner capitalizes and plays his own game, not dictated by pressure. But where have we seen this before? For 2 decades, we watched the master of mental fortitude, Novak Djokovic. He is a man who could turn 20,000 booing fans into white noise, locking down his mind like Fort Knox. Everyone wondered who inherited this mantle, who was going to replicate the mental power of a man growing up in a war zone. But here you have it. Sinner and Djokovic aren't just similar in flexibility and backhand. They have the same cold stare in their eyes. They can drain you mentally. No words, no screams, just quiet dominance. They intimidate you by showing you that your best shots didn't even scratch their armor, and you feel helpless. Nothing breaks a man who plays match point like a warm-up drill. But as Novak was the wall that returned it all, Sinner is the one who punches back. And this brings a feeling of helplessness. But why? Just take a second and put yourself on the other side of the net. After the greatest rally, the perfect shots, Sinner just shrugs it off and puts it back. Then he wins the point. He looks like a robot, and you've given the crowd the biggest cheer of the day. This is psychological warfare. While you search for emotional cues, tiredness, or pain, Sinner denies you that data. So the result is that opponents fight themselves. They adjust their game, change their style. They start forcing shots that aren't there. They redline their own game because they feel suffocated by his consistency. It's the ultimate poker face, and while frustration builds, he is the vacuum that just sucks it in. As the saying goes, you can't break someone who gives you nothing to hold on to. But where does it come from? If you think it's a manufactured persona, you'd be wrong. This is who Jannik Sinner is. Born in the mountains of South Tyrol, a competitive skier before he was a tennis player, he grew up in a culture of quiet, solitary work. Even more, he is naturally introverted. Sinner doesn't compete with big egos and showmen. His superpower is the lack of need for external validation. He ignores the cameras, and hype doesn't shake him. Sinner's validation is internal. He plays for mastery, not applause. This shy kid mindset is actually his greatest armor. You don't see him on the red carpet, and when the lights get bright, he isn't blinded by it. He can stand in the middle of Wimbledon and feel completely alone, just shutting out everything around him. He is comfortable in the quiet, and tennis, at its core, is a very lonely sport. You see, speed fades, reflexes slow down. Even the body eventually betrays the mind. But the mind itself, that lasts forever. Jannik Sinner isn't moving at the speed of a storm. He is climate change. His mental game ensures consistency. He doesn't need to be playing at 100% to win, because his mind never drops below 100%. He wins the ugly ones, even when he is sick. And when he is broken, he never shares it, so you'd never know. Sinner isn't built for a single race. He is the prototype for a marathon. While other young stars might burn out from the emotional roller coaster of fame and pressure, Sinner's emotional economy preserves his fuel. He is built to last. Mental toughness is not just part of his game, it's his biggest title. But here's the unbreakable truth. Let's face it, tennis is a game of errors. It is a game of breaking points. But while defenses are told to bend and not break, Sinner is the structure that always remains rigid. Attack his forehand, challenge his body, you might succeed physically. But in his mind, that's the part you will never touch. He is like the new Djokovic. But if you'd like to see why Novak could block out everything, check out this video next.